Isn't it amazing what they can do with green screens these days? I mean, look at how perfect those trees are. You don't even see any pixelation anymore. It's incredible. I mean, green screen technology, ever since the era of Zoom, they've really advanced green screen technology. Whoa, okay. When I move around, I change the lighting a lot. I'm not green screen, sillies. I'm actually in nature, which is when you're in the middle of nature by yourself, it's and quietly in nature, it's kind of a weird place. There's all these sounds all around you. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? I love that. Yeah, and I'm always blaming it on humans. Like I'm like, is there a human? Is there a human? It must be a human. But I'm pretty deep in the woods. I'm in what I think they call good morning. Oh, wow, I see all you people. Hi, Robin. All right, Erin with her awesome cartoon of herself. I love that so much. What is up, everybody? Ooh, I get to wave. That's a nice thing. Look, I can wave. I'll be waving at all of you. Yeah, like, you're pretty vulnerable out here, man. I'm pretty sure an angry badger could take me down, and it would be over. It'd be over. I mean, there would be a lot of blood, let me say. And if there were two badgers, I would just give up. Two badgers? No. See, there's somebody up there right now, like doing stuff. I don't know if it's a squirrel. I don't know if it's a bird. But I can sort of see how nomadic people, like, you get that, you wish you were here? Oh, I wish you were here too. That's why I thought I would do this, actually. So I've been thinking a lot about cancel culture. Emery, what is up? What is up? Because several people were threatening to cancel me this week, and I don't know. Maybe it was just they're going to cancel the Sunday Morning with Sage, but it sounded a little ominous because then, like, I was talking about the I'm so glad I'm not in the woods anymore. There you go. See? Robin hits on the point, right? Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about. Okay, let's go back to nomadic people, then let's go back to cancel culture. Okay, so, because Robin brings up such a powerful point. Right on, it's just a casual morning, right, Emery? Robin says, oh, so glad I'm not in the woods anymore. And I'll tell you, when I knew Robin as he was living in the woods, he wasn't walking around moping. He wasn't like, it sucks, man. I'd be like, how are you, Robin? It sucks. I live in the woods. No. Every time I would see Robin, I'd be like, hey, Robin, what's going on? He's like, hey, man, we're getting this camp together and we got new rules. And cancel culture is just people having some degree of power now that we have social media. It's not really a bad thing. Right on. So I love it. You guys are like making virtual friends. Like Emery and Robin and Erin, and you're all saying hi to each other. Isn't that wonderful? So, no, he was never like that. He was never negative about living in the woods. I mean, there's a lot of struggle in the woods, and we would talk about that. Mostly people struggles. It's He never really talked about the bad weather and the inclement conditions. You're blessed. And that you would always say that too. You would always say you were blessed. So many people living in the woods. I would ask them how they are, and they would say, I am blessed. Nothing quite rocks your world than talking to a person who just spent the entire night in a freezing tent and asking them how they are, and they say, I am blessed. Bam! Craig Gerlach, what is up, my man? But now, Robin's like, I'm so thankful I'm not in the woods. And he never said that while he was in the woods. But now that he's not in the woods, he's like, wow, man, I'm glad I'm not there. I'm good, Sage. I'll be over here in L.A. where I won't see a tree for days and days. It's a great day to be alive. I have 2 years clean and sober. Bam! Bam! 700 and some sort of days. I wish I could do the math. It's like 720, 730 days? That's crazy, Emery. That's so awesome. Next thing you know, you're going to be on city council. And you're the kind of person we need on city council that understands the people and what the people are going through. So I see everything as a symbol, and that story of Adam and Eve, it's just, in my mind, it's just a symbol. It's whatever it is to you is fine, but for me, it's a symbol. And to me, the story of Adam and Eve is when hunters and gatherers finally came out of the woods, and class of 2020, that's so awesome. I love those icons. I love those icons so much. They came out of the woods as hunters and gatherers and became farmers. That's to me what the story of Adam and Eve is. But sitting here, I got here a little early and I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy nature. And it's not particularly enjoyable because you're vulnerable out here. I mean, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and I'm all about nature. But when you remove yourself from your farming culture, your tribal culture, your cities, and you go and you sit out here on a hill in the middle of nowhere and you hear all these sounds, and you may be the apex predator if you have your nuclear bombs handy, but when you don't have a knife or a spear or a rock, even, I can't even find a rock. I guess there's a rotten log I could pick up and fight the badger to the death, I guess. But you're like, holy cow. You hear the sounds all around you. And I'm not even in bear country. If I was in bear country, I wouldn't even be doing this. Forget it. I love reading about all the different creation myths Adam and Eve is one of the least creative. Interesting. I don't know a lot of other creation myths, but I believe that's true. I believe that it's not particularly interesting, but it doesn't make it less symbolic, right? It doesn't make it less, it isn't, I mean, I've read other myths, right? I know myths, and you're right, now that you pointed out, that's not a particularly creative, compelling story, but it doesn't make it less powerful, right? You're like, okay, hunters and gatherers, they woke up one day and they're like, this sucks. This is bullcrap out here. I'm tired of this. I mean, there's snakes slithering around. There's disease. There's you scrape your arm on a freaking log one day and you die of infection. Terrible. We got to get out of here. Which is what it sounds like to me, You're just like, we're done. We're done living in the Garden of Eden. We got to get the hell out. Small story twice. Okay, good. When Joyce and I would wake up in our tent, there would be a skunk laying there by our bed, never harmed us or anything, but it was something that scared the shit out of us. There you go. Here we are, the big, bad humans, and you wake up to a little furry skunk and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. You realize there's a woodpecker right there. That guy can poke holes in trees with his nose, okay? I can't do anything with my nose. My nose is broken. It doesn't even breathe well. Like, you're just out here, like, you fall on the scale of predators quite quickly. Like, I like to play the game, like, imagine who would win. It's all about one interprets it just like lyrics in a song. The Bible means whatever. Yeah, I think that's right. That's what I think. And unfortunately, I think it has been soured by not great people, which is a tragedy, right? It's a tragedy that people are ruining the Bible for other people. Because, like, my friends that, you know, are atheists or agnostics, they're over the Bible. They don't like the Bible. They don't like what it represents. They don't like talking about the word God. They don't like talking about the word Jesus. And of course I understand where they're coming from, right? You look at, like, sorry, but you look at what some people in the name of Jesus do, and it's not great. I'm sorry. It's not really what I think Jesus would have done. And so then you're like, well, now you have to miss that whole myth because you rightfully are not down with what Jesus was, you know, how Jesus got hijacked or whatever, you know. It's like, let's see, it's all, oh yeah. I love your Christ, your Christmas I'm not a fan of, or something like that. Yeah. I love your Christ, your Christians I'm not a fan of. Right. Well said, Emery. Yeah, Jesus is cool, but the Jesus followers, a little scary sometimes, right? And then you're like, never mind, I would never want my friends to think that I'm one of them. Right? And so they go so far as to say, I am an atheist. When I know full well they're not. Okay, let me say it this way. In my mind, they're not. Meaning, an atheist is somebody who, in my mind, believes that there is no connectedness, that there is no relationship, that there is no patterns of connectedness. I know they don't believe that. But what I think they mean is, I don't believe what some Christians believe. And so I'm just negating the whole thing. Robin says, when I lost my house in a fire and my wife, I really thought that God hated me. That's why I took off from society. Yeah. When something as profound as a decimating house fire and the loss of your spouse or the loss of your mom, I know several people who just were crushed by the loss of their mom. And you think, why did you do this to me, God? Why did you steal these things from me? And you know, it's not hard to find a story. Like, I think there was some story, this woman lost her husband and her youngest son in something, like a car crash. It happens all the time. These incredible tragedies. And you are right to say, why did you forsake me, God? Just like Jesus did on the freaking cross. It's such a great scene, right? Why did you forsake me? I was talking to Eddie. I've been really reuniting with Eddie, the guy that nearly was murdered with a pitchfork. He doesn't see it that way. he saw it as a communion with Jesus on the cross. And he said it so beautifully, and I'm not even going to try and repeat what he said because I've tried and I do it so terribly. But for what it's worth, I don't believe God is striking us down. God is pushing all the buttons. He pushed the main buttons, right? Like let's, you know what I was thinking of? Like, I think that God would think our fighter jets are really cool. I mean, maybe not the parts that bomb people. Like, I don't know if he's into that or not. He might be, honestly. I don't know. But I think he would be like, holy cow, your birds go so much faster than my birds. Or how about the fact that no human being, as long as there are computers on the earth now, will ever be the greatest chess player in the world. It will always be a computer. Don't you think God would be like, whoa, I thought I made him pretty smart. I thought I set the groundwork and made him pretty smart, but they made a computer that is the best chess player ever. Wow. I think God would be cool with that, wouldn't you? I mean, God is a creator, right? God is a creator. And so how could you not admire other creators? And unfortunately, I think sometimes people, talk about the jealous God, and then that God doesn't sound any fun. Like, who wants that guy that's all bitter that somebody else made something? It's easy to get to the point of thinking that God hates you, says Emery. My kid being diagnosed with cancer, oh my, did that. And I said for years, if there was a God, kids with cancer lead me to believe it isn't something I can support. Wow. I have found higher power in the strands that connect us, in my roots, and in the stories that we tell, but not God, so to speak. Wow, that's so powerful and beautiful. Thank you for telling that story. And we have beat the computers on a few occasions. Oh, that's true. But I think it's no longer. We used to beat them, but I could be wrong. I'm totally making stuff up. This whole time, I'm making everything up. I don't come with notes. We used to beat the computers, but I don't think we beat them anymore. But I can't fact check right now. So I'm in the woods. So Emery comes to the connectedness, the strands of connectedness. What a beautiful way to say that. I have since found a higher power in the... See this nature coming to kill me? Do you see it? I have since found a higher power in the strands that connect us, in my roots and in the stories that we tell. Oh. The connectedness. Isn't that the beauty? Yeah, let me know. I'll try to remember to research it too. The connectedness. And then that is nature. I am now at a point where everything is symbol to me. Everything is symbol. And, like for me, like Jesus and heaven and hell and Adam and Eve, they were all just symbol. But now I believe it's all symbol. I feel more confident that everything that happens and we experience is symbol. It's not punishment. It's not for right and wrong. It's the connectedness that Emery talks about. The symbol is the connectedness. And so in one moment, I can feel afraid out here in nature because there's an evil bee, and the bees are so angry right now. So angry. Earthquake. Symbol. Symbol. Right? Nature. Symbol. And the symbols, like all symbols, are nuanced and multi-layered. So easily the first symbol is things are bigger than me, that I am small, and everything else is big. And I am just a bobber in the ocean, you know? An earthquake is, could there be any greater symbol than an earthquake? I am a bobber in an ocean. Literally, I am a bobber on moving ground. And it leads to fear, right? You're like, holy cow, holy cow. The first song I had, the first thought, I bet he says, is the earthquake. Oh my God, I'm going to be homeless again. And it leads to more fear. Aaron says, absolutely symbolism and the direction we choose to interpret, yes. I think some people don't choose to interpret symbols at all. That nothing is symbolic to them. That everything is black and white real. Jesus is real. Adam and Eve is real. Earthquakes are earthquakes. Kids that die with cancer are kids that die with cancer. We can't, and then they are like, we can't understand the will of God. That's the number one. Even bobbers find stability when connected with others. Oh, bam, Emery. Beautiful. And there is value. I believe, I'm also, not only now have I believed in everything as a symbol, I also believe in yes and. I believe in yes and all the time. Yes and. Is everything real? Yes, and it's a symbol. And a lot of people are just like yes or no. And I kind of really try to get away from no. Too many literalists, yeah. Yeah, they bring value though to the symbols, okay? Because a literalist that says that earthquake, that kid, your child that died of cancer, how could there be a greater tragedy? Is there a greater tragedy than your child dying of cancer? I can't think of it. And a literalist says that is tragedy. And they are right. They are bringing the truth, the literal truth of things. And symbolists have the same problems. Like, oh, it's all a symbol. Don't worry, it's a symbol. It's just a symbol. It's a symbol. No, it's real. Your child died of cancer. And when you sit in the truth and reality of that, to me, I can't think of anything more brutal. I just can't. I read that as liberals at first, oh yeah, I had to check myself, starting getting upset. What? Let's see. So what I have learned so much during coronavirus. So here's the third thing I learned. Let's recap. Everything is a symbol. Yes, and, which means everything is real. And now I've learned the middle way. Everything to the middle. And that is where yes, and lives. Yes, it is real, and it is a symbol. Yes, it is a symbol, and it is real. And that's why we need everyone on planet Earth. Because, that bee is gonna, I would not be surprised in my discussion on literalism I get stung by a bee. I think God would think that's hilarious. Hilarious. Now, did God, if I get stung by a bee while talking about symbolism and literalism, and God laughs and laughs. Did God sting me? Okay, in my mind, yes. And Aaron says, in my mind, the literalists equate to too much ignorance and inability to open one's mind to think outside the box. It is. But I would argue then you have to keep opening your mind too. And me too. I'm not blaming you. Unfortunately, 7 kids in the U.S. will die today. For those families, it will be a tragedy. But I see so many of them take it and make beauty. Oh my gosh. And make beauty. A friend of mine, Brenda, she lost her daughter to an overdose drug addiction. And I know it hurts her to her soul. But she's taken it and made beauty out of it. 7 today in the U.S. will die. 7 kids today will die of cancer in the United States. Glad, yeah. And isn't that a symbol of God? Isn't that the symbol of God? That great tragedy befalls us, and we make beauty out of it. And not only is that an incredible blessing for us that can do that, for those of you that have had great tragedy, and you make beauty out of it, and like that sharing. So what Emery is doing here is she's connecting. She is I'm sorry, Emery. They are connecting. I apologize. Please forgive me. They are connecting. Emery is connecting. To the 7 moms and dads. Emery says, I see it as the beauty in connectedness. And isn't that it? Isn't that the message? Connectedness versus unconnectedness, division versus connected. That's the message of 2020. And we're getting just a heap and pile full of symbolistic learning. There are people who are learning the lesson, and there are people who are not learning the lesson. And I'm sorry, but that is the lesson. The lesson is connectedness. If there was a 10% chance that a mask, wearing a mask in public, just when you go to the store, could help you not spread many kinds of illnesses. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, your kid lived. Oh, wow. Okay. What a great, you are truly blessed. You are truly blessed, because now look at the gift you have been given. Your kid lived, and you get connected with the 7 kids who did not live today. What the greatest of all gifts. Wow. And you're giving the gift to all of us here. You're sharing this tragedy and connecting us to people. I would not have thought of those 7 kids today. And Micah will get their first survivals medal at the gala this year. Wow. 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 The connectedness raises us all up. We connect. Susan is able to do the live gala. This is so hard this year to help these kids. Yes. Micah was diagnosed with cancer that was untreatable in 2009. In 2019, they were given the report that they are NED. What is NED? That's, wow, Emery. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. If you haven't learned in 2020 that the moral of the story is connectedness, virtual will be wonderful, because you know what? There will be people that couldn't make it in person. I'm loving virtual because look, you're right now getting to sit here in nature, and you really actually couldn't sit here with me. I mean, because I'm on the edge of a hill. I mean, you could, but it's sort of dangerous. But you get to come out, no evidence of disease. Wow. Wow. See, that's the connectedness, that we get to feel the sorrow together and we get to feel the celebration together. And the people that refuse to be connected miss out on it all. And the connectedness is the message. The connectedness is the message. Have any of you watched The Platform on, I think it's on Netflix, The Platform? Did I talk about it? I'm not gonna ruin it for you. But connectedness is the message. Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you for the smile you just put in my heart. Yes. See, that's the beauty. And that's how you can never give up. So you take a guy like Jesus, right? This wonderful symbol. Doesn't even matter if for this case, if he's real or not real, or it happened, it didn't happen, if he's God or he's not God. The symbolic story of Jesus is he was betrayed, right? And then the government just washed their hands. Stories are powerful. We are such a storytelling people, creatures. And they hung him up. They put that crown of thorns on him by embarrassing him. They made him walk through. They humiliated him, and then they killed him. It's not enough to just kill a person anymore. You have to humiliate them, and that's the joy of the unconnected. Of let's just decimate them in painful, terrible ways. That's the unconnected. I need the eye for an eye. I need justice. I need, not even justice, I need to be Zach. Zach Zank, also on the West Coast, I think. My health doesn't. Wow, volunteered for many years. It's great to see you, Zach. And that's how we cannot give up. Because Jesus didn't give up. Emery didn't give up. Robin had an earthquake, didn't give up. There are forest fires everywhere. People didn't give up. we don't give up. When we should, by all accounts, give up. Just moved up north again. Gonna get this job. My man, Zach Zank, once lived in a tent. Now, living on the West Coast up north, getting a job. My man, Zach Zank. Can you get a cooler name than Zach Zank? It's gonna be hard. The message is connectedness. And as I heard people saying, like, okay, so I'm running this campaign to try to get the police chief to resign here in Akron. And it's because he is really upset he doesn't have his chokeholds, and he's upset that he has to have any committee oversight whatsoever. And then people would pile on. There's people that are like they're supporters of the police chief, which is very natural. I'm thankful he has supporters. That's exactly right, because he has points. We don't understand what it's like to be a police officer. It's easy for me to sit around out here in the woods while his officers are out dealing with very dangerous people in a community where, by the way, people got shot at a football game the other day. So, yeah. He needs supporters. Emery says, I've been going to the gals for many years. Last year, Mike was in the middle of an experimental treatment through Cincinnati, and we gave the spot to kids who were recently diagnosed. Wow. So excited to get the survivor's medal. I never let homelessness define me, define who I am. Man, you see, and then it becomes a gift. Zach Zank living in a tent in the middle of the winter. Robin living in a tent in the middle of the winter. All of these people living in a tent in the middle of the winter, and they transcend out of it, and then they were given a gift. One of the great gifts I was given was alcoholism. I'm just an addictive guy. I love binge drinking. I quit about 17 years ago, and I still think about the wonderfulness of being obliteratedly drunk. But it was a gift. It was a gift of connectedness, of all the people that suffer from addiction and who are chastised for it. It made me stronger. It made me appreciate the entire rest of my life that did not include alcohol, which was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I always remember there was one thing, somebody asked me once what my hobbies were, and I laughed at them. I'm like, hobbies? I drink. What are you talking about, hobbies? I literally didn't even know what they were saying. What else is there? I drink whenever I possibly can. So I guess if you want to call that a hobby, that's a hobby. Now I know what a hobby is. How about that? How about that? And I understand the beauty of being in the here and now and not being hungover, more so than anybody that has never been hungover for years and years of their life. It's a gift. Tragedy, and I'm not trying to belittle anyone's tragedy, but terrible things, if you can get through them and get to the other side of them, become a gift. So Aaron says, I've never been homeless but came damn close last year. We all have so much in common, as I have a chronic pain disease but refuse to... There it is. Hey, James. Jim James J. Nolan. How's it going, buddy? There it is. Emery says, I see my addiction as a gift too. It got me through hard times, and my recovery has gifted me much more. The suffering becomes a brutal gift, a gift that you would not ask for in a million years, but it's the gift that you got, and it gives and gives and gives. No one in their right mind wants the gift of cancer, wants the gift of homelessness, wants the gift of chronic pain. But they come to us. And so often, in a way that I can only describe as God-like, that what God would do is to not only forgive the suffering, but to see the suffering as a blessing. It took a village to help me get through my tragedies. Yeah. So there it is. So Robin found community in homelessness, as many people did in our tent community. And that made me very upset. A tent village, yeah. Because I saw the community of people that had no homes and then were immediately given a home. And we are all each other's gifts. Yes, Aaron, yes. The city could not see, and the Catholics, ironically, who were the biggest pushers of us out of the neighborhood. And it's not, I'm not saying it's because they're Catholic, I just find it ironically humorous that Christians were the ones that would show up at every city council to push us out. They could not see the incredible beauty of a village for people that had no village, no family, no hope, no home, and the power of a tent in a safe environment. Aaron hit it right on the head. We are all each other's gift. Even the people that wish us harm and hate us, they are our gift. And not a gift to make us feel holier than thou, which can seem like that's the very surface gift. I'm better than you because you don't understand connectedness and you hate your fellow humans. That's not the gift. I mean, it's a superficial, kind of smug gift, but that's not the gift. The gift is of understanding their position. The people that hate others, that hate homeless people, that hate gay people, that hate black people, that hate anyone other than themselves, and they're the people that look like them, and they're the people that live in their little socioeconomic circle. They are afraid, okay? They did they? They tore down another building. Yeah, so when you say the homeless are the most hated, yet I love them even more for their strength to overcome. Yeah, so I do have this campaign that is, I feel a little torn about, but every day I put out a picture of a lovely, wonderful, happy person who was homeless when I took the picture, and I say, homeless people are the most hated people in America, and it is bringing out some serious emotion. And people don't want, the same people that do not want to connect with people that are like them also do not want to connect with people's suffering. A woman said to me, I like the stories where you talk about the positive things. And I'm like, I'm not giving you that all the time. I'm not going to tell you that homelessness is this hopeful you can do it thing. I'm getting to the root that people hate homeless people. And it is true because they hate black people. They hate gay people. They hate Muslims. They hate Arabs. They hate Chinese people. Everyone's on a journey, says Emery. Those who are not at the point yet of seeing others as people are mostly scared. It's not hate, it's the fear. Man, that's it, Emery. It's fear. It's fear in the form of hate. Hate is a shield. You know Clarabelle? Have you ever seen little Clarabelle? She comes and sits on my lap sometimes. Well, she will snap at the big dog, Sparky. If she's sitting on my lap and Sparky comes too close, it's something we should obviously overcome, right? Like it's a resource guarding, they call it. But it's interesting to watch because she'll be like, "Ruff," and then she'll start crying. And Sparky doesn't care one way or another. He doesn't even care. He's a little dog. She's a little dog. He's a big labradoodle thingy. He doesn't care. But she starts crying. And I'm like, oh, that's it. You're sad he might take me away from you. But the bottom line is it ends with hate because they hate being in fear. Yes. So the hate is dangerous. The hate becomes systemic. And those people, like middle class or powerful middle-aged white men, are afraid. They're afraid because their culture is, they feel, eroding, that they are eroding. And did you see how, Donald Trump put out this new 1776 form of education or whatever because it was in response to something else that he didn't feel was American? They found in California that when they were trying to pass a gay rights measure, that the single most effective way to win votes was to send gay people out and have genuine conversation. Bam! That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's the connectedness, isn't it, Emery? You can hate someone that you've only seen on the news as the enemy, right? It's easy. Hate extremist Muslims over in the Middle East because they're terrorizing us. Hate is bigger virus than COVID. Yes. And isn't that the symbol? Isn't that the symbol, Aaron? Amy Allen, what's up? COVID becomes the symbol. The symbol is fear. And it's not even the fear of the virus. For some people, it's the fear of the virus. But for some people, it's a fear of change. Like having to wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. That's stealing my rights. Well, I don't see any problem with you wearing shoes. No shirt, no shoes, no service. You ain't got no problem with that. Well, this is different. And we had these whole mask wars back in 1918, right? With the Spanish flu. These are symbols. And it's a symbol of what are you going to do with the fear. You are afraid. You're afraid of some people are afraid of the virus. Some people are afraid of not sending their kids back to school. Some schools are afraid, private schools in particular, are often afraid they're going to lose the money if they don't open their schools, right? Because there are very vocal parents that are like, this is a hoax. You don't see an Amy on the feed? Amy Allen. She's watching. She didn't say hi. Where did my comments go? Ah! Oh no, I lost the comments. I totally lost the comments. Maybe they'll come back. Oh, jeez. That's a tree. Maybe the comments will come back. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. Okay. That teaches me for touching buttons. Seriously. Where are the doggone comments? Nope. All right, maybe they'll come back. We can only hope. There's fear all around us. Coronavirus, COVID, gives us the fear. And the message is, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, I get it. You're afraid. You should be afraid because change is coming. Things are different. What are you going to do about it? Is the fear going to make you angry, or is the fear going to bring you compassion? Is the fear going to make you divided, or is the fear going to bring you connection? And so, look, masks save lives. They do. It's scientific. It's not even a debate. But you know what? If it was a debate, I would wear a mask. And in fact, I think from now on, I'm going to wear a mask out in society the rest of my life. When I go out to a store, I'm going to wear a mask. Part of it is I just don't like germs. I'm like kind of germaphobe. I like to see people and I just see disease. But secondly, I don't know what I'm spreading. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth right now. I guarantee it's alive. I guarantee it has things in it. The air and moisture that's blowing out of my mouth right now is alive with things. Cannot believe I lost the doggone comments. How did I do that? Nope. So, we are all learning the message of connectedness. It's the only lesson we've ever been tried. That's the only spiritual lesson that has ever been tried to taught to us. Connect. Love. You know, that Jesus whole love your enemy thing, that should twist your brain, right? That should be crazy to you. I was at a point where I'm like, man, I'm over Jesus because that's too much. People aren't ready for love your enemy. They can't love their neighbor. How the heck are they going to love their enemy? But I'm back. That was like a day or two that I'm like, oh, no, we're cool. Because it's not that we have to achieve it. It's that we have to try to achieve it. You know? That we have to try to achieve connectedness. And we have to push down those that seek to divide us. And so it becomes this easy thing to do. You're just like, well, are you trying to divide us or connect us? And you don't have to hate the dividers. You can practice understanding why they're dividing us, and it's very easy. It's because they're scared and threatened. That's all. That's all. They're scared and threatened. Like, I'm scared and threatened. I can't find the comments anymore. I'm going to say hi. Ah, there we go. Ah, there they are. Hello. Hello. Christophus is here. Yay. All right, where is I? Christophus. Hi, Christophus. Many cultures, masks for a long time have been a common courtesy. There you go, right? Oh, I love that mask of you, Aaron. You have those awesome cartoons. People fear what they don't know. People hate being afraid. The mask represents a loss of control. See, Emery? That's it. Okay, I'm all caught up. Okay, there. Hi, Aaron. Yay. So we don't have to hate them. We just have to get more and more connected. And they are welcome at the table. We want them. Look, if you have a hard time understanding other people that are not like you, gay people, black people, Chinese people, Indian people, women or men, don't we all have those kind of, is there anyone that doesn't have some sort of stereotypical aversion to some kind of person? Like the easiest one, liberals are like, I don't like white Christians. I don't like white fundamentalist Christians. Well, there you go. Now you found your path. There's your journey. Loving period, says Emery. It's a goal. It's not easy at all. Love is a constant action, decision we make hourly, daily. It's hard, but beautiful. And what the message is, if you aren't hurting people and creating systemic racism or misogyny, which is, we're still dealing with these, right? It's okay that you're afraid of other people. It's okay. I've had many African Americans tell me, well, there was a comedian that said, man, I don't like that these Confederate flags are being banned. He's like, when I would go to a gas station and I'd see a guy pull up with a Confederate flag in the back of his pickup truck, I knew exactly where not to go. Now nobody has Confederate flags. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are. I don't know which is which. And I've had friends, African American friends, say, look, serious racists don't bother me because I know where they stand. It's these moderates that bother me, that say one thing and do another. They're the ones that bother me. And isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? That the people that say one thing and do another are the real danger. But I think this is the journey of life, right? We were given this journey to learn and grow. We're not here to just go to the buffet and eat for 90 years. I mean, that gets boring. We're here to learn and grow. And the message, the thing we're trying to learn is connectedness. How can we all get along? I think people fear love as much as they fear each other. They didn't fear love, we wouldn't be in this mess. Yeah. So love is a risk, right, Aaron? Like, you feel like you're opening yourself up. If I say, I love you, you know, like you see it with like young people, right? Falling in love. It's a big to-do. When you say I love you, when do you say I don't, you know, who's going to say it first? Because what if they don't say it back? What if they don't say it back? There's nothing that's incredibly a vulnerable time. I love you, and then they're like, that's nice. Yeah. Your heart sinks. Right? And it's usually a woman that I think that this happens to, right? This, I mean, I know that's stereotypical to say, but usually a woman will say, or, you know, falling in love, and they'll say to their, you know, if this is a heterosexual relationship, they'll be like, because I can just see, I see it, like I see it with young men and women, like, you know, the young woman says, I love you, and all they want in the entire universe is to say, I love you back. That's it. That's it. And when you say, I love you to somebody that hates you, you're definitely not going to get it back. You might get yourself killed. Ask Jesus. Ask Jesus how that went. Ask Martin Luther King how that went. He got shot right in the face. I love you. Bam! You have to die. We can't have that. And the reason we can't have it is because it's a threat to a dying breed. You know? They're dying. I'm sorry, old white men are dying. Other people are raising up. And capitalism is doing it. I mean, capitalism in a way becomes this great equalizer. Government, however, you gotta watch government. And I'm not I mean, I can discuss capitalism. The only thing worse than capitalism is socialism. That's my stance. It's a terrible system, okay? I'm not trying to be pro-capitalism. But it's wonderful in this regard because it doesn't matter what race you are. You know, look at the guy that runs Microsoft. He's some Indian guy. You know? Why? Because he's the guy that can run Microsoft the best, they think. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And so this happens in growing countries. It happens in everything. Like, you just want people, like, you know, having Mexicans move to America is wonderful. We should want it. They're hard workers. They are nice to be around. Some of them make Mexican food. I don't know if you've had Mexican food, but let me tell you, yum, yum, yum. And so Mexicans are moving in. And that's a threat to white men, right? I can't believe these beautiful little icons you have, Aaron. They're the best. That's so sad with your broken heart. They were like made for you. So, can't we love them in understanding that? That they're so angry because they're dying. That's all. Now, we can't let them rule the world. Like, we can't let them instill, judges or institutions that propagate their legacy. You know what I'm saying? We cannot allow them to fabricate a world of dividedness. We are the future. The people that say we must connect. That's the future. And I believe it's inevitable. I believe it. I believe it's inevitable. That create your own emoji. Really? I can do that? I would like an emoji. How do I do that? To check that out. I want emojis. So we can create change without hate. You know? We can be angry, but we don't need to kill them. They will try to kill us. They will. Because their fight is an existential fight of ending. And so they're understandably terrified and super angry. Gotta run, cut the grass. I'll be at the law office today. Text me later, I'll swing by. Keep up the good work. I want to get in, Chris. Let's do it. I got to roll too. I don't even know what time it is. We got to do connectedness. That's it. That's all we got. And I think that the internet, while it can be divisive and dangerous, look at what it does on Sunday morning. All these really cool, different people coming together that would not normally come together. And that's wonderful. And I want, like, middle-class men to come and be a part of this. But usually they're not open. They usually don't want to talk about connectedness. They just want to talk about how liberals are ruining the world. It's only 11 a.m. Oh, wow. All right. What time? Is it 11? Oh, it is. It's time. All right. I try to do an hour. You guys are so wonderful. You know what's so nice about this is love the green screen atmosphere today. Yeah, don't you? Here, look. It is green. Look. Here, look at this. I'm over on, I think they call it Hawkins Hill. And I'm on a little hill. Not the hill that usually is classified as Hawkins Hill. But, yeah. I'm out here. I'm thinking about continuing to do Sunday Morning with Sage outside. Because, outside is good. I love you, Robin. I love you all. You, so often the people that have suffered are the ones that get the gift of love. Isn't that amazing? The people that haven't suffered oftentimes have the gift, the curse of anger and fear. Because they're afraid. They're afraid of the loss. You know? Pretty amazing. All right, people, you're the best. Have a great Sunday, will you? I think it's going to be a beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio, and in LA, I'm sure it's always beautiful. All right, everybody, I'll see you. Bye.